I still remain so devastated about the death of Lucinda. I don't think people understood how important she was to me, and I'm not sure she understood how important she was to me, but I honored her life by not going forward about what David did. And it's really as though David not only ran me out of town, but ruined my life. And he began doing that when I was 13. That's incredible. That's why he's a super agent. I don't think he realizes that, having me at those orgies at that apartment of his in 56th Street with, dear God, all those men, and I was a kid. I don't think he realizes the impact that has on a life. And then to tell me I was dangerous, really? He trafficked me. Yeah, drugs. My whole life I was afraid of skinny men because of all those drug addicts. Skinny men with no asses. Became a real scary template. Yeah, when you're a teenager and skinny men are fucking you in a room and you're watching orgies because your own stepbrother took you to them, that's horrible. He was so deeply involved in drugs. For all I know, he doesn't remember. He's got to remember that Victoria died in his bed, and Mickey's named after a friend of his who overdosed. What's the name of that guy? Oh, yeah, Dory. Gary and Dory, brother and sister. That's right. They try to tell me your friends are your lovers and your lovers are your friends. What the heck? I was 14 years old. They're either all dead or in rehab. Yeah, most of his friends are dead, I think. What a weird life he's lived. But hey, the devil's in the details. He succeeded. Who are his clients? Oh, that work thing about Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg wouldn't go along with his crazy. Yeah, it was so weird to call Rod Stewart's office. And what's that, Richard Dreyfuss's office. I even called Guy Ritchie's office 2 days ago about friggin' Joe Ciampa. Yeah. Cynthia Anderson? Yeah. Let that Rocco have a normal life. Dear God. Madonna dragging the kid around on tour. Yeah, that always works out just right. Yeah. There have been some moments in the last few days where I've just wept about Lucinda dying, and Lucinda was abused by that uncle of hers. And then, ironically, she married a man who was an abuser. That is so crazy. But yeah, I live in the world where you gotta keep your mouth shut. Yeah, you can't ever tell the truth. God forbid you tell the truth. It's like a death sentence. It's not like a death sentence. It is a death sentence. Oh my. I'm being glib tonight because I've suffered so badly the last few days. Oh, I'm in so much pain with my hip. My family are the worst people in the world. My father thinks he's Martin Luther King, or his representative. A man who's a 3-time bigamist, I think, 2-time minimum. Wife beater. Oh, dear Lord, that day he kidnapped me and Dana after he tried to kill our mother. Yeah, hid us in the basement at Grandma Hattie's. And of course, where's Grandma Hattie? Nobody knows. She disappeared. Because grandmothers always disappear. Yeah, hid us in the basement. Crimson-colored hell to see my mother covered in blood. But hey, could you imagine Martin Luther King? Anybody, can you imagine Martin Luther King beating Coretta? That's kind of the life I lived. Kind of scary when you think about it. Marnie, God bless you, Marnie, for telling me the relationship between my mother and my sister. Oh my gosh. My sister, the judge. Thank you, Marnie. To think that my own sister hated our mother. No wonder the last thing my mother told me. She said, I only love you and you only love me. I was really shocked by that. I asked her what she meant. She told me my brother, Ben, and my sister, Tina, were really selfish and only thought about themselves. Well, she really knew her own children. I asked her about Dana, and she said she loved him. That was the last conversation I had with her, and I just found dead in a park. And they're angry. They're angry? Yeah. Yeah, they're angry. Well, I have been all found, I don't know if he's arrested, but running through the streets naked in the Caribbean, ending up in a Caribbean jail. Now he's a fancy bank examiner. Tina, heroin addict? Ooh. No, she wasn't a heroin addict. She just snorted heroin. Let me be correct. Snorted heroin. Yeah. Violent. I got a family of a whole bunch of them. So many of them are abusers. What happened? Maybe it's in the DNA, and I didn't get it. Anyway, I'll be dead soon. I don't want to be dead soon, but I got no choice. I don't decide whether I live or die. This disease does. And because nobody cares about my life. By the way, those corrupt cops in New York, dear God, corrupt cops, KKK cops. KKK cops.